The Dark Game book is halfway done. Now, as we go into the sixth chapter of the Dark Game book, this chapter is something that I shouldn't have stated in the earlier chapters for a reason, just to get you guys conditioned to understand why this chapter is very vital to the previous chapters of the Dark Game book. Now, this chapter revolves around various time periods. It's not a specific time where the hyperbolic time chamber happened. It's not a specific time where the results of my training happened. It had nothing to do with that. You see, this is just information that I have gained over time. One of the biggest pieces of information I have gained over time is MGTOW. MGTOW is one of the forgotten gems that I have to state that it is one of the greatest examples of why the Dark Game book is what it is. You see, I found out about MGTOW when I was doing the first job called The Results of My Training. So here's what happened. As I was listening to Kurama MGTOW's videos, I was going through the sexual harassment phase at work, where girls would set me up for sexual harassment because I didn't flirt with them and because I wanted to keep my job. And so I was listening to MGTOW, and at the same time, I was living through what MGTOW was talking about. Oh, you can't trust women at work. You can't trust anything. And you know what? That was already installed in my head from going through stages in high school where I couldn't trust women for anything. So what happened was this. MGTOW became in my DNA, but it was always in my DNA. I never wanted to fit in until I stated in the video earlier that I only wanted to become hip-hop just for the sake of getting girls. I've always wanted to rap, but I never wanted to be a gangster until girls came into play. So this was really, really a great thing that I figured out, that even though I'm not a MGTOW, I was appreciative of MGTOW because I went through the same thing. I lightweight laughed at MGTOW because I'm like, this is something that isn't really a thing anymore. I'm like, you guys are complaining that girls are cheating on you and shit like that. I'm all like, you're just not fucking them right. That was literally my whole thought process during MGTOW. Like, these guys don't know anything about women. They know a lot about face value, but they don't know how simple it is to get women and why it was so detrimental to me to avoid women at work because of the fact that I don't like them. They have to show more than ass and tits to get by, but little do you know that that meant a whole lot to society, and that means to a whole lot to people as a whole. So there was this one MGTOW moment. I took this video down, but I was seeing the Avengers Infinity War. So the OG at my job told me to go see it twice because I didn't see the ending. When I didn't see the ending, he said there was something special for me there. So here's what happened. At the time, there was this group of people who tried to take me down. And one of those members sent out two girls to watch that movie with me. What happened is they left one seat available. There were two girls and I was watching in the highest place in the movie theater. So in the middle came two bad girls with jeans and their asses were fat. So what happened was this. She sits one seat across from me, but she pulls up her pants in front of me, and then she goes one seat over. So I'm like, okay, this is obviously a setup. So I already knew it was a trap, but I decided to get at them in bits and pieces because I was enjoying the movie. Now, one of the things that happened when as I was watching the movie, I was observing them to the point where it's like I know you guys don't like this movie, and you guys are literally here to set me up, but beyond the setup part was basically what happened was this. They were using their Snapchats and shit. They were on their Snapchats, and they weren't even paying attention to the movie. And so, you know what I do is, I talk to them. I'm all like, you got Snap? Obviously. And she's like, no. And so, she does that little thing where girls trail their feet when they're horny and they're trying to admit they're not. And so I'm like, oh, me? That's not gonna do anything. I'm talking through the movie like an arrogant black person, but I'm not, because I understand what the fuck they're trying to do. And after she said no, I'm all like, okay, they're gonna keep teasing me. Okay, they kept on teasing me. But once they realized it didn't work, I asked them specifically, are you guys stay for the credits? And she said yeah, and stuff like that. But as soon as it got to that part, that last part, where I'm all like, that's not gonna do anything, they left the movie theater. But what happened was, the person who sent them gave them an ultimatum. It's like, if you fail to sign them up for false rape accusation, you guys are going to die. And since they failed their mission, they accepted their death. They left the theater. Couldn't accomplish their mission. They knew the death was coming, so they decided to go out early, and they died. He said, if you can't set them up for a false rape accusation. That was a very, very tragic story I had to get past. Now, what is really, really hard about this chapter was the evolution of how things were changing and how people didn't want to accept change was also a big gem that we had to accept in this chapter. So what happened was this: after the very first fanime, after the results of my training chapter went in, everybody was wondering, when is he gonna come back to his old self again? Because I already had a mouthpiece, so me doing that for that specific event was doing it for fun. I didn't want to do it as an everyday thing, and it was the same when I was in high school. They always asked me to dance, but they never wanted to watch anime with me. Every single time I walked past, people wanted me to dance. Now, the thing is, back in high school, it was harmless. But now they want me to do something that's literally a top class felony. The only reason why I did and got away with it was because it was for fun and they were having fun too. This is something that is subjective and that's never gonna work with everyone. And it became a running gag and they wouldn't accept me. As I stated in that last chapter, they did not accept me unless I went back to that disgusting thing. But what happened was, there was this one thing that happened. When I went to another con that wasn't in California, I inspired so many people, but they weren't talking about it. So here's what happened. The whole point was this, okay, so I became a late Yu-Gi-Oh player. So the main thing about the reason why that wasn't gonna work out, and I found a new hobby. So what happened was this: I was at the level of popularity that no matter what I did, people would imitate. But what happened is they started to imitate the good things I was doing. What was happening was, I practiced for a tournament that was gonna be at a convention, a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and I was walking. I was shuffling my deck while I was walking, preparing for the tournament. And after I got home from the con, I saw somebody doing the same thing but with Pokemon cards, and that let me know, yo, I'm a good role model. And that's when they tried to set me up and tried to label me a predator because I wanted to learn from my mistakes. That is a hidden gem I want you guys to absorb and I want you guys to know. And so, another reason why this chapter is very vital is because there is this girl that I used to view as a friend, as I stated in the first chapter. That girl wanted me to be her boyfriend all of a sudden. You see, the great thing about this girl was, when I was in high school, she had a strict family, and we used to laugh about everything. We used to listen to 8-bit music. We used to talk about nothing but manga and anime. She wasn't too hyped about shonen like Naruto and One Piece. She loved One Piece, but she never liked Naruto, never got into shit like Yu Yu Hakusho or any of that. But she would never let any guy hang out with her because she never trusted men. But the thing about it is, she had an ass, but I never paid attention to that ass because I was so infatuated with her personality. She had a Velma from Scooby-Doo. She had shaggy hair with glasses, and she wasn't the best looking thing, but literally, I never thought about having sex with this chick once. Not once, literally. She was literally my best friend. She was the only friend that I could literally talk about anything with, including anime. We started laughing, talking about personal things, you know, and she was a nerd. She told me one time she actually freestyled and it actually worked, and it was funny as fuck. Literally, me and her literally took art class together, and we bounced ideas off of each other. And you know what? She was tired of dealing with people's shit. She didn't want to get attached to no one in high school. And the reason why this is such a vital point of the Dark Game book was because this girl treated me like a piece of meat as soon as I got out in the real world. Women like to shame me, saying that I use them for their bodies when they have nothing else to offer to the table. Once I test them to see if they're worth more than their body by challenging them to see if they have a backbone, to see if they're actually quick in their feet or if they're not quote unquote slow. This girl was far from fucking slow. I knew this girl was literally one of my best fucking friends. So what happened was this: as I stated in the first chapter, she asked if I was working and going to school. I'm like, you know me as an anime nerd. Why the fuck would you question if I was going to work at school? You know? And the reason why is because she wanted me to be her boyfriend. So the girl that I was talking to in high school, of course she's not gonna be the same, but I never expected her to be this slutty. What happened was I started working out. I started to get muscles. I started to get better clothes, and she recognized me as a hoodlum. But it's a hoodlum she wanted to fuck. So my precious Velma from Scooby-Doo, my only friend that was a girl who I can never think about having sex with, all she wanted to do was have sex with me. She wanted to cover it up like, oh, you should get a job so she can introduce me to her family, so she can literally take me through treacherous steps instead of saying, yo, she just wants to fuck. And the same girl would never give me her number. The most she gave me was a DeviantArt account, and that's why I respected her, because I thought she came from a cool family. Now all of a sudden she wants to give me her number. The old her would have never have done that. Would have never have even thought about giving me her Facebook even. And that right there told me that men and women weren't friends. I was complaining to my mom why I'm not getting women. How come this is so much more? How come I see bad guys getting away with doing dumb shit with women? And now I realize why. Because men and women are not fucking friends. It really was a tragedy. Because you know why? If the same me with the same style, same wardrobe in high school, same mentality with no muscles came to her at that same con, and we're literally been the same shit. I was going through multiple shit. I'm like, I remember when nerds were a thing. Now nerds are just fucking wannabe fucking sluts that don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know? Now, another great piece, one of the gems that I wanted to state was, I was in denial. Here's how my backstory goes. I was a good person all throughout high school, but with suicidal tendencies that would complain every day why he could not get pussy. Why am I black? How come all the other black guys are getting girls and I'm not? How come they have baggy jeans? How come they have stylish clothes and I don't? And when I got those things is when I graduated from high school, when they're not all in one place to view everything I have. When I went out, I dominated, but I learned at a later age. A lot of people said that you're only supposed to think that way in high school, and here's the thing. So I go out, I get my own sense of style, I fuck a few girls, and I understand that, yo, this shit's cool, but it's in bits and pieces. I'm not hanging out with these people every day. I'm not really getting to know these people. Like, what happened was this. I got drunk this one day, and I knew girls were stalking me because I was at this level of popularity where I was constantly getting viewed, constantly getting all this attention. And I was drunk this one day, and it was the funniest fucking thing. I pretended I had fucking friends because I knew people were spying on me, and I was drunk, and I was trying to find my way back home. And so I think about this. I'm just sitting over here listening to my music, dancing, drunk and shit, having a good time, but I'm always wondering, where the fuck are my friends? Where are my friends? What friends? You know? The thing is, I knew people were there, but they weren't talking to me. They weren't doing shit. And, you know, I came home and I realized that, yo, this is how I should have been kicking it when I was in junior high. I'm literally 24. I was 23 at the time, but still, same fucking shit. I was 24, going around thinking I was doing something when I wasn't doing shit. There's a reason why I'm here. I dropped out of college. Oh, but wait. You know? I did everything. It's like, oh yeah, you have the clothes out, you fucking bitch, you're doing everything, but where's your college degree? Where's your car? Where's this and that? Life was really smacking me. I was not in denial that shit wasn't happening, but why am I going around, walking through a neighborhood drunk, knowing that I'm in a group home, knowing that I didn't listen, knowing damn well that I fucked up, and I'm not embracing it? But it's like, why? Why do I feel like I need friends all of a sudden when I was so used to being alone? So I got to talk with my mom, and I talked to my mom about how I felt like I was a failure in life, and how when I wanted these things the most, they didn't happen. But when I didn't care about them, it's like, oh, they're here, but where's something else? Like, I wanted to have children. I wanted to literally go right back to school. As soon as I started fucking girls, I wanted to go right back to school because it was not challenging. Oh my, where the fuck is the challenge at? This is what I was preparing for. I wanted to actually, you know, expand my mind. I'm like, okay, so I got pussy now I want to go back to school. And he's like, oh, you signed up too late for this semester. Every fucking time I needed to be on my shit. So I had reasons to scold myself, and everybody's praising me about doing shit that I was supposed to do in high school, and I didn't do it, you know? So everybody's late, but I'm even fucking later. Now I'm in a fucking paradox where I have feet, I have children, but I don't get to see my children because not only am I a victim of circumstance, you know, I have a white racist baby mama, I have a couple others, and it makes no fucking sense. And literally, my genes, my strong genes are passed on, but I'm not there to see how my children develop, and I know they're there, and that's what hurts the fucking most. It really fucking hurts that I literally understood where I was at, and there was something I can do about it. So when I literally got that smack, when they labeled me a predator, I'm like, oh, this is what I get for not going. But there was a lot more to it. There's a lot more manipulation involved. But that is literally one of the biggest hidden gems out there. I want you guys to understand that these hidden gems were to make me appreciate and always be humble, because I became this internet celebrity that, yo, everybody's praising me, but this is the way it used to be. This is why I will always stay humble. And compared to my people, my role models who I look up to, I wasn't shit. Now this is chapter 6 of the Dark Game book.